Welcome everybody to the Laurel County Fairgrounds in London, Kentucky. We are here for the fourth stop on the 2024 Delta McKenzie ASA Tour. Of course, this is the TRU Ball Pro Am. Welcome to the Competition Archery Media Broadcast booth. I am PJ Riley, sitting alongside Darren Christianberry. And folks, Darren, we just noticed the clouds have rolled in. This is completely different weather than we have had all weekend.
Yeah, typically London is one of two things, very hot, humid, or rain. This weekend it's been low humidity and probably the upper 70s. Sunny, absolutely perfect shooting conditions. Now we're out in the wide open, a little bit overcast, got a little bit of rain in the forecast, but so far we've been really lucky, and I'm looking forward to some great shootdowns.
Me too, Darren. And right now, Darren, we'll set the stage for the folks. So right now we've got our senior pros are out on the course. So that is an unknown distance class. Explain to the folks at home what that means and what they're doing.
Yeah, they're stepping up to a stake on the range, and they're using, muscle memory, the trees, whatever the definition of the animal. They're trying to figure out what that distance is with no electronic device. It's just a skill that you learn over the years. You look at it, you think, maybe it's 41 yards, you set your sight for 41, you make the best shot you can. So they have no help in figuring out that distance other than their memory and what they can use from the range. So later on we'll see some known distance shooters. They're going to use a laser rangefinder. They'll know exactly what that distance is. But half the battle with what these senior pros are getting ready to do is figuring out that distance and then having a strategy on where to aim.
And so, Darren, folks always ask, well, how far are they shooting? Well, it's unknown distance, so we don't know the distances, but we do know that the max that they set, the ASA sets by rules for this class, for all these pro classes, is 50-ish yards, we'll say?
Yeah.
50-ish.
Approximately 50 is what they say in the rules, and that's half a football field.
Yeah.
So you're shooting an arrow at a target. The 12 ring is about the size of a $50, 50-cent piece, so it's not easy, especially with the ranges we shoot here. The power line's famous for London. It's very tricky conditions, the footing, the hills, the lighting, the sun, the shade. It's tough. It's really tough. So now they're coming out to wide open grass. Wind is a little bit of a factor here. It's overcast, so lighting's perfectly even. It'll make it easy to judge and aim at these targets. Wind could be a little bit of a factor, but this is 100% 180 from what we've shot all weekend up to this point.
I was just going to say, Darren, you've been in both situations. You've been out there on the courses and had to come in here. I mean, that's got to be a world of difference.
It's literally like shooting in your bedroom with the lights off and then shooting in your bedroom with the lights on. That's the difference right here. So,
yeah, and as you mentioned, London here, Laurel County Fairgrounds, that's our facility here. And it's basically the pro courses are always set off what they call the power line. If you've heard people talk about ASA and the power line, this is the venue where that is. And it is that. It's just a giant power line, and the targets go off of that. The shooting stakes are set up off that power line. The lighting is tricky. As you mentioned, it's Kentucky rolling hills. So you folks had some two new courses this weekend, which were really steep compared to what we've seen anywhere in the ASA.
Absolutely whooped my butt today. And I've shot Kentucky every time we've been here. I've been here every year, so I know what to expect when I come here. I know what setup's going to work well for me. I don't know if it's getting older. I don't know if it was, really contrasting light. I struggled today to see the targets. I struggled to see where to aim. Some of these guys and gals handled it amazing this weekend, so hats off to them for what they did. But again, what the folks at home and the folks here live get to see, this is nothing like what we competed in. Nothing like it. Yesterday was probably, in my 27 years of shooting ASA, probably one of the toughest ranges I've ever shot.
How about that?
And then by the time I got through with today, I told the folks earlier, I said, the last time I shot this bad at London, I went home and switched hands, went and switched from right to left. Now I'm in trouble because I'm out of hands,
You're out of hands.
So it wasn't my weekend personally, but I really like good archery, and these folks have shot some great scores to get here today.
Yeah, we are going to see some scores that came in that were just unbelievable, how folks were able. I mean, this is what we talk about, that, London tends to separate folks in different classes and abilities. Some people rise to the top, some people don't. It's just one of those things.
And I know Levi's talked about it, a lot of people are defeated before they start here because they dread it. They're mentally defeated. Oh, I can't see. It's going to be tough. It is. You know, so you embrace it. Everybody has to shoot in those conditions. Do the best you can do. You know, sometimes it works out in your favor. Sometimes it doesn't. I was on the doesn't side this weekend, but again, you know, I could have very easily, with a little bit of luck, been, you know, out here competing again as well. But it's just part of the challenge of 3D archery.
Yeah, I'm glad you said 3D archery. We haven't seen any targets yet, but this is 3D archery, so we're shooting three-dimensional foam animals, and so the scoring rings aren't. At best, you can kind of see them. At worst, on some of these targets, the black panther, the blessbuck, man, good luck seeing them in any light.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of folks, you can't see that, and we don't have the product to show you, but these archers use a wide variety of peep sights, apertures, clarifiers, lenses, magnification. Some of them can see the rings very clearly. Some of them can see the rings very faintly. So it's what your sight, what your mind likes, what kind of sight picture you prefer, but there's a lot of variance in the different setups out there for people to get equal results. So there's no one set rule on what you have to do, and this is just proof in the pudding right here, because Nathan Brooks hasn't shot a tournament all year.
Yes.
He's shooting in the Open Pro division. He does not shoot a lens.
Right.
You know, so he's out there with zero magnification, which is a benefit because he's probably not fighting these weird lighting conditions, but it makes the target look a mile away when you're aiming at it. So he's one of these few, probably the only person out here today that's not shooting magnification.
I talked to Levi Morgan, and he had said he considered taking it out at one point, taking his lens out, but he said his eyes just aren't the same anymore.
Yeah, after the third target today, I wanted to, but I didn't know where my bow would hit, so I just ran with what I brought.
All right, Darren, well, Senior Pro Division is going to be up first, so we are going to go to the third member of our team, Brandon Reyes. We're going to go to him, and he is going to bring out our archers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the London, Kentucky TRU Ball ASA Pro Am and the Shootdown rounds. How about a round of applause for this weather that I ordered this weekend so far. All right, here we go. We're going to begin with the Senior Pro Shootdown. And our fifth place qualifier from Clarksville, Tennessee, shooting for Prime, Richard Teasley. Your fourth place qualifier from Boswell, Pennsylvania, shooting for Hoyt, Tony Tazza. Third place qualifier, shooting for Dart and Archery from Mill Spring, North Carolina, Bill McCall. Your second place qualifier from Chillicothe, Illinois, shooting for Matthews, Kevin Koch. And your number one qualifier from Lacona, Iowa, shooting for Matthews, Jeff Hopkins.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Gentlemen, if you want the upper 12s, the orange cone goes out in front of you to the left or right. You've got the T sign to make sure that our callers can see it. The 14 ring is in play. It does not have to be called. And as usual, high score wins. Once we get everybody settled in, Jeff, are you ready? Everybody feel good about their number?
All right, so Darren, what we can tell folks at home is that Jeff Hopkins is our leader. You see him right there at a 407, Kevin Koch 395, Bill McCall 394, Tony Tazza and Richard Teasley 393. That is evidence right there of the difficulties of this course. 400 would be what we consider par.
Yes, yeah, Jeff at 7 up. He has a 12-point lead. Amazing shooting conditions. I mean, amazing shooting in the conditions we had this weekend. I said if anybody shot up in our class that came off those two courses, hats off to him, and Jeff really showed out having that 12-point lead to start out. So we look at Billy McCall right
just there. Missed that lower 12. So we haven't talked about scoring yet, Darren, but there you see the scoring rings. You can see he is just to the right of a 12, that small ring, so that's going to score a 10.
Yep.
But let's go over here to Jeff Hopkins first.
Jeff shot just under that for an 8. You can see he's just under that ring, so he'll get 8 points right there. I was teasing Jeff before they started. He always 12s these long targets. I said, sure enough, I said, you'll 12 this Kyle, you wait and see. So I may have jinxed him. Sorry, Jeff. But 12-point lead, really, all he has to do is not make many mistakes like that. Keep it in the 10 ring. These other guys have to pound.
Like Kevin Cook did right there.
Just did. That's 4-point swing. You know, Jeff shot an 8, Kevin shot a 12, so that's a 4-point swing right there, right off the bat.
Kevin Cook is our reigning winner. He won the last one in Minden, Louisiana, the last tournament of the season.
Yeah.
In this class.
And what that does on that 4-point swing there, PJ, Jeff's lead's now 8 with four potentially 5 targets to go. And what I mean by that, after we shoot these 5 targets in regulation, anybody within 10 points of the leader will get to shoot a 6th and final, the last chance arrow. They'll get to shoot a 6th and final arrow.
Yes, we should mention that we have target sponsors here, and that was just the mule deer. That is the gold tip mule deer. We're switching to the Bow Doodle Panther, and unless Richard Teasley called upper, he must have called upper.
Must have, yeah.
Darn it, Richard.
A 10.
So close.
Some of these targets are pretty long for these guys right now, so 10s are really good. 12s are bonuses, but there is a little bit of risk involved shooting at those.
So that orange cone that you see there behind Richard Teasley, if he wants to call the upper 12, he has to bring that around front where Scott Parrott, tournament director, can see it. And what we're talking about is there were 2 rings, one in the lower part of that inner circle and one in the upper part. The lower one is always in play unless the shooter calls for the upper.
Yeah.
And then if they hit it, as Richard did there, but he had called upper, it's only worth 10 points.
Richard's such a fun-loving guy. He's
awesome.
So good to shoot with.
Yep.
Just got a great attitude and personality out here.
Here we go. So we're looking at Jeff Hopkins on the left shoot. Or no, excuse me. This is going to be Richard Teasley on the left shooting the Coyote. And that was Jeff Hopkins shooting at the Wolf.
It looks like Jeff shot low again. Teasley might have clipped the 10 on the Coyote, and it looks like Jeff's just low again. So if Kevin shoots another 12 here, Jeff's lead is going to be gone.
And there's Mr. Steady, Bill McCall.
Billy McCall, slow and steady wins the race. He's in the core line there. That's going to be an 8.
Yeah.
Richard Teasley, currently at 403.
Richard, just laughing, having fun out there.
Nobody has more fun than Richard
No.
on the range that I know of.
That's super close, but I think it's just wide for an 8.
Yep.
Sure enough.
Yeah, and when we come over to this Wolf, Darren, so we've got new paint on these targets that is flat.
Yeah.
They used to be shiny.
They're not fun to shoot at in these dark shadows.
Yeah.
I can't see what that's.
Oh, there we go.
Golly, that's better. Just under it.
So an 8. So all it has to do is touch the arrow, and these are foam animals. So the foam is pliable, so the line can move.
This is a big arrow for Kevin right here.
Did he get it again?
Oh, he did. That's another 4-point swing.
Another 12 for
Are you
Oh,
kidding me?
wow. 12-12 for Kevin Cook. As I mentioned, he's our Minden champion, so he's coming out swinging.
Jeff's going to move to a 423, and Kevin's going to move to a 419. So his lead after 2 arrows is just now 4 points, and it started at 12.
Wow. Tazza, who helped me out by shooting in the known pro
I guess it's never easy, you know.
Yeah.
I mentioned briefly that Jeff just needed to shoot 10s. It's obviously not that easy, and he wants to hit 12s to put the tournament out of reach. I understand that, but there's a point too where you have to say, okay, I got to make a mistake, but make that mistake in the 10 ring. Easier said than done, because it goes really fast when you're standing out there.
I spoke to him beforehand, and he said his job was to see what happens, and if things got tight, then he was going to have to be. I said, are we going to see aggressive Jeff? He said, that depends.
Yeah.
I think we might need him now.
I think the 8 on the Coyote set the stage for, okay, I need to try to get this next one because it's a little closer target. You know, now he's like, okay, he's on a fairly long target now. I believe he's on that leopard, so if he misses the 12, he needs to miss this one in the 10 ring.
Yes, that is the Stan Leopard. Our first target is the Elevation Coyote and the Shibuya Howling Wolf.
There's a good look over Jeff's shoulder there. Holding that bow pretty good. He's shooting a title this weekend, Matthew's target bow.
What?
Did he not hit the target? Oh no.
Did he miss?
He's looking. I don't think he hit it.
He's clicking his sight.
Oh wow. You hate to see that.
He's shaking his
I was just getting ready to
Yeah.
mention Jeff's been shooting. I don't remember which one. It was a hunting bow from Matthews.
Phase 4.
There you go,
Yeah.
Phase 4, and he's just switched to the new title and was really obviously shot it super good all
Yeah.
weekend. But something happened right there. I don't know what happened, but
Bill McCall just right on the Bow Doodle Panther. So,
I hate to see that. There's a good look at Tony Tazza.
That's their assistant's responsibility.
Tony's such a good shooter, always consistent, doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
no,
Tony Tazza.
that's going to be, he's looking for a cone. No cone. That should be, nope, that's a lower. 12.
12 points for Tony.
Elevation Coyote.
Oh, he shot. He did not call for the upper. He wanted the lower. We can't see it. Whatever. All right. We'll give him a 12 this time. We'll talk about it later. Moves into the 425.
So Tony
So-
12's that Coyote then.
Coming over to the Howling Wolf here.
Maybe looking for a little
This is the
bonus.
Shibuya Howling Wolf.
This is Richard Teasley.
Thinks he's feeling good about himself.
Oh, he went for the 14.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, we
Yeah, he
didn't
went,
mention that scoring ring up there,
he went
Darren.
for the big ring. Yeah,
Yep.
that 14 sits out there high right in the 8 ring or high left, depending on which direction the animal's facing. Here's a look at Jeff, see if we can see what happened.
Hopkins. Jeff is obviously
His bow didn't move much when it fired.
Issues there right now.
It looked like it went low.
Because it's rare enough for him to take back-to-back
It's-
hits, but that's completely out of character for this gentleman.
He did not touch it.
No, it looked like
Well-
it went. And they found it, so it clearly went low. If it had gone over, it would have gone into the woods.
Back-to-back 12s.
And another 12 for Kevin.
Another 12.
Correction. 3 12s.
Wow. Good shot, Kevin Cook. That's crazy that Jeff had a 12-point lead. And Kevin's going to be 8 points ahead of him right now after 3 arrows.
Bill McCall. Gentlemen, if you move to your next
I feel
target.
bad for Jeff. I hate to see that happen to anybody.
First up,
He shot so solid all weekend long, and now after 3 arrows, he's fighting for a podium spot.
So, Darren, I had mentioned that those targets looked deceiving to me.
Yeah.
The coyote and the leopard. I thought they looked different than they were. And maybe that fooled him too. I don't know.
Jeff doesn't get fooled much. He doesn't miss yardage too often. He's seen 2.7 million targets in his lifetime. And I don't know, something happened there. Maybe he knocked an arrow upside down or something. I'm not certain, but that's...
So, yeah, how much of a gap, like how off would you have to be in your estimation to miss a target like that? Potentially.
At the 292, 293, that's the feet per second that about everybody shoots out here in this class, low 290s.
Yeah.
At 40 yards, for every yard you're off, if a target's 40 yards and you shoot it for 41, you'll hit about an inch high. If you shoot it for 42, you hit about 2 inches high.
Gotcha.
And vice versa. If it's 45, you shoot it for 44, you hit about an inch low. So
Okay.
to miss that, he'd have to miss it by 6 yards or so.
Yeah.
Or, like I said, knock an arrow upside down.
He likes the lowers, so he generally shoots down closer to the bottom.
Yeah, there's a good look at Billy. He's holding that bow pretty good. Good.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Jeff might have hit the 14 on this one. When we get to it, we'll see.
Well, before they shot this arrow, he had dropped to 3rd place, so he still has a chance to climb back, and that 14 ring will help him.
Bill McCall is first on the Elevation Coyote.
Good 10 for
Shoots
Billy.
a 10. Next, we go Tony Tazza on the Shibuya Howling Wolf.
So it's just left naked eye
Left.
there.
Yeah.
10 for Tony.
Stayed 10. All right. Now we have Richard Teasley on the leopard. The Stan leopard.
I don't know that I don't see his cone. I don't think he called upper, but he smoked it.
Congratulations, sir.
He's laughing, so I think he's laughing because he called upper, hit lower, went for lower, hit upper.
His numbers are just a little bit off
Your
there.
intention right there, Richard. Your intention was honorable.
Let's see what Jeff did here.
14.
There you go,
He
Jeff.
got it. All right. Whatever happened, he's tuned in now.
That's crazy.
That's his son Scott right there. 212 twin peaks, twin mountains right there.
Yeah, his mini me. I think Nathan said his other me now. Just, that's probably another 12 if he called upper.
Yeah, so that's a unique situation there, Darren. Let's see what the call is first. We'll talk about it. 12. Yeah, so there's
Four
like
in a row.
There's a connector line there that is kind of where 3 scoring rings come together.
Yep.
You hit anywhere in there, you get the 12.
Yeah, they call it the pie, the connector. There's some different terminology that the archers use, but if you go 90 degrees from the inside edge of that 12 goes all the way to the outside of the 10 line there. So it's actually a misformed circle.
Yeah.
But by ASA rules, depending on where it lies in that pie, you'll get the 12 ring.
You get the 12.
So there's a lot of controversy on those calls at times.
And let's talk about Kevin Koch right there.
Kevin's
4
on
for
fire.
4.
If you shoot 2 or 3 rings, you've shot well. He's hit 4 in a row.
He's 8 up in the finals.
Yeah. He's got a 6-point lead right now over Jeff.
Now he's shooting that coyote down there.
Good look at Kevin. If he hits this one, I'm going to go out there and ask for his rangefinder. He's judging extremely well.
Oh, Richard, I think he got that.
He went for the 14 too, didn't he?
Yeah.
There's a good look at Kevin coming settled in again.
I mean, at this point, he just needs 10.
Go 5 for 5, just left of it.
I mean, Bill McCall still at full draw. There he goes. Bill finally shot.
If Kevin takes a 6-point lead into the final arrow, he's going to be hard to beat.
Hey, 10. That's
a good shot.
Safe. Good shot.
453 is where he'll finish up right there for now.
Coming around to Bill McCall. Shibuya Howling Wolf.
Looks
just under.
Slow.
It's going to be an 8.
Gonna move Billy to 440. So he will not be in the final arrow. You have to have a 443 or better to shoot the final arrow because Kevin moved to a 453.
Yep. Tony Tazza, I believe that's going to be a 10. Yep, so he's going to make it.
Yeah. And then depending on what Jeff did here. Well, Richler could get to a 443 if he 14s this.
Yeah. Pretty sure he did. Oh yeah.
So he'll make the final arrow by the number.
Did he call lower on that? All right, there you go.
He's always having a good time.
Yes.
Let's see what Mr. Jeff did.
Boy, he's probably going 14 hunting now.
An 8.
I don't know what he shot. Yeah.
445. So he'll get a chance to shoot. So Kevin's got a 8-point lead. It's if he shoots a 10, he cannot be beat. If he shoots an 8, he can't be beat. It's a pretty good spot to be in, regardless of what target they set. These guys can hit just about anything from any distance. So,
yeah. So Bill McCall is going to be our only one that we're going to drop. He's going to finish in 5th place. But the story of the shootdown's got to be Kevin Koch.
Yeah, showing
plus
out.
8 in the finals so far. That's incredible.
When you hit 4 out of 5, that's 80%. That's pretty darn good.
That is pretty darn good. So now what we got happening here, Darren, is we're bringing out our last chance arrow, and it is last chance archery, last chance arrow. It is the Impala, and so they just pick a spot somewhere on the field. We don't know where. Scott Parrott will move the stake, presumably. He's going to pick a shooting position, and then they'll have some time to judge it, and then they will each take a shot at it. That is the Impala.
Yes. Tricky little animal. It's not a very big animal from belly to back. It doesn't have a very thick body.
Yep.
Won't be hard to judge out here in this wide open field, but in the woods, that thing can be tricky. I'd be feeling really good if I was Kevin Cook right now.
For sure. Oh, there goes Scott Parrott. He moved him, I don't know, maybe 4 yards up in front of where they were shooting, but now they're kind of diagonal as well. He's not shooting. They're not shooting that target directly head on. So yeah, they're going to get to judge the distance there.
Yeah. Teasley has to hit a ring to make a move. If he just shoots a 10, Tony shoots a 10, Jeff shoots a 10, Richard stays in 4th place.
Yep.
So he shoots a 12. Depending on bonus ring count, and Tony shoots a 10, he could slip onto the podium, same as Jeff if he ties him. But since Richard has to hit a bonus ring, I think I might shoot at the 14 if it were me.
Why not?
Really put the pressure on those guys.
Yeah.
Worst he's going to finish right now is 4th
Just
place.
Reminder,
So.
we'll be doing the awards for this pro class.
Yeah, if he's got a good number out there.
After completion of the senior number go round.
And sometimes the 14 on these animals is just a wee bit bigger.
Right.
And so when I say wee, I'm talking 1/8 inch, you know, some. I know on the Audad target, the 14 seems to be huge.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't typically shoot that in a shoot down. But from where they're standing to that Impala, it doesn't look to be too long of a distance. And I think Richard will be able to see that ring probably naked eye and through his scope, so it probably wouldn't be a bad one to take a risk at.
Yeah, so we're coming behind and over their head. Even there, you can see the difference between the Howling Wolf and the Impala.
Yeah.
You can see a lot more definition on that Impala than you can on the Wolf.
Yeah, and you can see the Impala several feet or a few yards in front of the Leopard, and they also move the shooting stake up several feet, so it's not terribly long.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be. I think a bonus ring is very attainable here. It's just what decision does he make? Do hit the 12 and force these guys to do it, or hit the 14 and make them have to shoot at the 14?
Oh, he wants
Yeah, the wind's starting to pick up here just a little bit. Where we shot all weekend in the hills and the hollers, the trees, the cover, wind is 0 factor. Not a factor at all. But when you get out in these wide open fields, depending on how big their fletchings is, their vanes, their feathers, whatever you want to call them, the wind can make those arrows move. So wind can be a factor out here in the shoot-offs.
Yeah, so we see Richard Teasley's umbrella man, Brady Hempen, young kid out there. He'll be able to hold that up in a strong breeze.
Oh yeah, phenomenal shooter himself, Brady is.
Yep.
Let's see what Richard decided to do. He did not call for an upper, so he's either going to shoot at the lower or shoot the 14.
Had a let down. He was looking up.
He may have said a little prayer right there or something. I don't know what he did. Took a deep breath. He's reset. Let's see what happens.
There you got the target in the lower left.
He went at
it. Did he get it?
He went at it.
I think he
They're fist bumping, so I'm thinking he got it.
It's so close.
I can't see it from this side.
Good play, though. Just
I think he's going to be just wide. Richard says, oh, it's an 8. It is out.
So that puts him at 451.
Good try there, Richard.
If Tony shoots at 8, he locks up 3rd place.
All right, now it's Tony Tazza's turn.
All right.
Currently at 4:45 and 9.
So if Tony shoots a 14, it moves him to 59.
1 bonus ring down.
That right? So then Kevin shoots. If Kevin would have to shoot a 5 to lose,
just hit.
So I think Tony tries to shoot a 12 here to make Jeff have to hit a ring. Him shooting a 14 could basically just hand Jeff 2nd place or ensure him 2nd place. So I don't know what Tony will decide to do here. I think 12 might be the play right here.
He has called. I can't tell. There's a cone, but I don't know which one's out there. There's a 10.
All right, called the upper 12.
Oh, he did call the upper 12.
He's just a little short on yardage, and he hit straight under it.
14.
So Tony's on the podium.
10 for Tony Tazza. Moves him to 455.
Now, depending on what Jeff does here, what position?
Jeff must be ahead on bonus ring since he shoots after Tony. Right, so a 10 here will give Jeff 2nd.
8 points behind.
A 14.
You're tied. You will be tied.
Really, if Jeff shoots a 5, he shoots a 450, he would drop to 4th. So Jeff has to shoot at least an 8 here to stay on the podium.
Would sew up 2nd place.
Now, Darren, you're in this position. Are you thinking about that miss, or is it gone? Have
And
you
we'll start
put it
the
out of your
timer.
head?
It has to be
Now.
behind you now. You can dwell on it when this is over. Right now, it's time to make a shot here, and then think about it once it's all done. He did not
call upper.
He may have hit the upper.
Looks like it.
So his number was a little strong, but that'll get him second place, I'm sure. Not what he was hoping for.
10 for Jeff.
Yep.
All right,
It's a 10.
455.
45. So Kevin just needs to hit this animal
Hit
to
the
win this
target.
target.
That's
2
it.
points ahead against Kevin Koch. Kevin,
Props to Kevin Cook. So all weekend he was 5 down.
you win.
Come in here and shoot 8 up
If you
Yeah.
miss that target,
in 5
you come in
targets.
Yeah. That's the difference in being able to see
We will
and not being able to see.
now.
Clearly he could see out here. All right, Kevin.
Here you can see the animals and the rings and everything. So this should be a pretty good, easy shot for Kevin.
Back-to-back championships.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. Center 10.
That's so good.
We'll get a final number for his score.
So
Back
good.
to back.
Jeff, second place. Third is Tony Tazza. Fourth is Richard Teasley. And
Wow,
Bill
that's
McCall is in fifth, and we
coming
wanna
in
give
with
them all a big round of
determination.
applause for a very
And
good
you know, then not freezing when you see Jeff Hopkins, somebody like him,
Yeah.
struggling.
As I
I
said,
think
their
Kevin
awards
was doing
will
everything he needed to
begin
do.
after we
12
do
the first
the,
2. Jeff shot a couple 8s. Okay, he's
senior
still got a
men pro
4-point
class,
lead.
which is getting
You have
ready
to
to
be
come up
thinking,
now.
man, I'm never going to catch this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Jeff has that unfortunate mishap, and then all of a sudden Kevin's like, holy smokes, I could win this thing.
I could win it. Yeah. He's going to come on over here, and I'm going to ask him about that, because those going 4 for 4 to start. And in back-to-back championships here. So, I believe he's got the headsets on there now. Kevin Cook, back-to-back championships, starting out 4 for 4 on 12s. Tell us
Yeah.
about that round.
Oh, that's I can't believe it. I mean, I thought I had some good numbers, but being out here on the grass, it's pretty tough to judge on that stuff. And I was a little iffy, but I hit the first one, and I was like, okay. Usually when I hit the first one or be close, I can go after the second one. So I went after the second one, hit it, and I just kept going. And I thought maybe I had a little bit too much number on the Panther, and I called the upper and aimed center. It rose up in there. So it's I can't even believe I'm here right now, to tell you the truth, because yesterday I struggled. You know, I shot 9 down yesterday, and today I hung in there, and I couldn't believe I was sitting in second when I got done. So.
We talk about the struggles, Kevin, and how tough the ranges were and the difference from out there to here, and the emotional roller coaster that archery brings. I mean, when you first stepped out there, you were 12 points behind Jeff. You have to be thinking, I'm going to have a tough time catching this guy. And then all of a sudden, Jeff has a mishap, and you're in the catbird seat. You're like, I got a chance to win this thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your whole weekend flipped in just one arrow right there.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I was hoping to put a few 12s in the target and maybe give my chance to get close on the last arrow. And unfortunately, Jeff had a mishap. I'm not sure what went on, and just can't believe.
Yeah. Well, buddy, back-to-back wins. That's not easy to do. Congratulations on a consistent, solid weekend. Fantastic shooting.
I'd like to say one thing, though, before I go. Happy birthday to my wife. It's her birthday today, and she's here with me today in the crowd. So
Awesome. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
yeah.
Congrats, Kevin.
All right,
Yep,
Kevin.
thank you.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back here at the Laurel County Fairgrounds for the Senior Known Pro Division. We'll be right back.